Waiting for the chat to start. I should put on my fashionable glasses. My fashionable eyeglasses. Where's my coffee gonna go? How about I put it on the computer? That's safe. Good afternoon. Time to do what I always do and check the levels. I haven't changed them since last time and need to know how I sound. How I sound when I'm here. You gotta make your text bigger here. There we go. How is this? How is this? Right here. Sounds mint. Pretty good so far. Can I be leaning back? Already there's a super chat. Okay. Timothy Kobila says, does Roman know how to drive stick shift? Yeah, he does, but he's not too hot with it. When he learned to drive, he learned to drive on an automatic. Not a stick shift, so he can drive it. It's just he's not too slick with it. So when it comes to time for stick shift cars, especially like if you give him time, he'll be able to do it. But I handle all the stick shift cars, so Mission Gaming says you're very moist for me. If only I could put that in my dating profile. Herpaderp49 just gave me $1. Thanks. One guy says come to Mexico. Just so we know, is my volume levels okay? Because I'm sitting in Nick's chair today because his chair has a back to it, and I've been sitting in my computer all day and doing my lean forward thing that I normally do on the futon. Isn't really good for my back. So Nick isn't here today. I see your questions going by, so don't worry about it. So Nick isn't here today. He's in Richmond, Virginia, doing other stuff unrelated to the channel. I think he was swing dancing or something like that. How come most novelty coffee mugs you get have their graphic on the left-hand side? I drink coffee with my right hand. I think most people drink their coffee with the right hand. It's the idea if I drink my coffee with my left hand, it's because productive people are doing stuff with their right hand, I guess. One guy who I have to review his comment says the volume is loud and horny. Does that mean it's too loud or do I need to turn it down? Anyway. This is tough. Just one person, man. What did I do today? Normally there's podcasts on Monday. That's why I'm doing this. Normally it's Nick and I here talking about this or that. Cole Donnelly says this podcast is the closest thing that I have to a positive real role model. Thanks. Hey Alex Campo, thanks for 99 cents. It's cool, man. Thank you. Robert says voice is good, volume is fine. Awesome. Keep it that way. Did I see the race yesterday? Says Atheist. No, I didn't see the race yesterday. I'm not sure what race that is. I don't really watch racing. I'm one of those, I don't have a TV guy. And I know that's no excuse. You can stream anything you want. Stefan Dayrell asks, have you ever been to the Simone Museum? It's really small, but amazing car museum in Philly. No, I have not. Car museums to me, now that for the past 4 years people give me they give me keys to cars. The cars I'm interested, I'm allowed to drive. So the idea of going to a car museum and you can't drive anything, all right, I can look at it. I go to Carlisle every year, and at least there you can get up close and personal with rare cars. But the idea of going to a museum where everything's behind a rope, it just doesn't do it for me anymore, right? Sam Hyena says, is Tesla bound for bankruptcy? They are in trouble. Are they? Or is Elon Musk just having a meltdown on Twitter? You know, a lot of smart guys I know like that don't have the skills to handle negative comments. You know, he gets all testy and like, oh, I'm gonna make a rating system for journalism so people can vote. You're having a temper tantrum in text form. Doesn't mean the cars are bad. I still have there's a Model 3 waiting for me in North Carolina that I really ought to make arrangements to get down to North Carolina. Alex Ocampo says, when are you coming to Arizona? Probably when it's really cold. It's like a toss-up between do we want to go to Phoenix or do we want to go to Vegas? It's like in the dead of winter, like March 2019, when we've had enough of winter in Pennsylvania, but winter sticks around for another month and a half. Yeah, I have an excuse that should be the prime time for us to leave Pennsylvania and go travel. March. But it's leaning that RCR Chicago will be the week of July 15th, which I think we talked about last podcast, because you can be sure it's going to be warm in Chicago in July. Mike Pilsner says, didn't you say that Vegas was full of old retired dads to deal with? ? 4. I mean, I'm sure it's full of that. I'm not going to Vegas to go on the Strip. I have no interest in going to the Strip in Vegas. I have interest in riding a motorcycle in the desert. That's what I have interest in. Hey, Tim. Oh, thanks for $9.99. Let me pull your comment back up so I can read it, so it doesn't scroll off the screen. Tim says, thank you for answering my question about Nick and stick shift. Oh, you didn't have to give me another $9, but I'm not complaining about it. Thanks. Thank you for answering my questions about Nick and stick shift. Love the show. I have been watching since day one. Thanks, man. We're trying to get back to that sort of 2013 style. I just filmed even though 2013, well, Vaporware started then. I just filmed another skit out by myself as like a breakaway for next week, and I hope you like it. Oh, how about this? How about this name? Sakin something. Thanks for $10, man. You're fueling the Falcon is what you're doing. I got a 2018 Impreza hatchback. I wanted a WRX hatch, but they don't make those. Yeah, they don't. And everyone I looked at was rice to hell. Should I risk adding a turbo or just wait to see what's in store for 2020? Yeah, wait until Subaru solidly has their World platform cars coming out. You did fine with an Impreza hatchback. I was like vaguely looking at one of those things. What you have is a direct injection, I think 2 liter. Yeah, direct injection 2 liter 4-cylinder, or, you know, opposed 4, that is getting better gas mileage than any Subaru ever could. So really, dude, stick with that. You done good with the Impreza hatchback. Shades of Cascades? Shadows of Cascades something. Sorry, man. I never rode a motorcycle and want to get into it. Should I start with standard riding position bike? Yes, you should. Any tips? Yes. Depending on what state you're in, you're going to sign up for the Motorcycle Safety Foundation course. Good thing about that is you show up with a helmet, boots, as in boots that cover your ankle, a long sleeve shirt, like this, sleeves rolled down, and gloves. They give you a motorcycle. and they teach you how to ride, and they teach you how to not drop it in the parking lot and embarrass yourself. And they show you how to do that crazy tight figure 8 thing. It's good stuff. As far as a motorcycle to try, you know, everybody talks about 250s. I say go with the same bike that most MSF courses use, the Nighthawk 250. Green Bean says, any plans to do a hot rod power tour or a Lemons Rally event or something? Yes, plans to do a Lemons Rally retreat from Moscow if they do it in 2019, if they do it again. I'd like to be either on Justin Kramer's team or again try to get Fiber One to sponsor me. I want a K car. There's some guys from Canada who, I forget which part, Ottawa maybe? And they have a Canadian spec K car. So I want to be Team Canada or Team Tim Hortons or something like that. Like, that would be my in. But like, yeah, you have a K car, so what? Oh, it's a Canadian K car. So Lemons Rally 2019, if they do retreat from Moscow, because that means I only have to drive up to Scranton Wilkes-Barre to be in the rally. Timothy Kobelia says, sending money to come to Atlanta and review my Sunfire budget. Like Pontiac Sunfire? J-body or earlier? Because that's really interesting if it's earlier than a traditional J-body. Because we did a J-body. Of course, there's no reason we can't do another one, because the Pontiac Sunfire is like, I want a Cavalier, but you know, I'm fancy. It's the official car of Virginia Slims. Virginia Slims and Powerball tickets. Of freaking tasty Claire pies. I drive a Pontiac Sunfire. I button line at Messina's Pizza because I got kids. Pontiac Sunfire. The official car of having a fat daughter. Little fat girl riding mommy's Sunfire. Withick says, how do I get into hiking? One foot in front of the other, dude. A buddy and I would start, but are unsure how to. What? Just go walk? I'm not sure what this question is. How do I get into hiking? Find a trail. Okay. No, wait. Big hike is only for the AT. Depends where you are. Hiking trails, or like REI, I think, has an app that can find local hiking trails. And if you still don't want to do that, go on the stair climber at your gym for like 4 hours. That'll give you an idea of what hiking feels like. Broken Fourth Wall says, when are you coming to Connecticut? Oh man, you gave me $5 and my answer is never. Damn it. I've got a 2000 Volkswagen Beetle GLX, 1998 Kawasaki KLR 250, nice. And a possibly newish FC, also nice, with your name on it. Man, New England, you'd have to be like a summertime trip. like, hi, I'm in Connecticut, and I stopped. Robert Demakis and SEK, during, not sure what denomination that is, during RCR UK, there was a very European car, the Peugeot 206. Loved it. That you really wanted to drive but never got your chance. Was there a very European car like the Peugeot 206? That was the car I wanted to drive. I mean, maybe the 206 GTI or something like that, or whatever their hot version of that is. That's what I would have liked to have or drive. I think a big Citroen would be something that I wanted. But that's really it. Max in normal chat says SEK equals Swedish kroner. Awesome. 991 TAWS6 says, thanks for $2, man. Says, come to Ohio much? I've got Pontiacs. Well, I have to come out to Ames, Iowa. Ames, Iowa. My buddy Tom is a professor there at Iowa State. chemical. You've seen him before. He comes on here sometimes and does beer reviews because he's a beer judge. The cable news network says we are the most trusted name in news. Indeed you are. Thanks for this 5 spot. I think that's my favorite comment so far. That's it. It's not a question. And it'd be funny if it's actually some intern at CNN and that's how they're doing their advertising, is just going on YouTube chats and just saying we're the most trusted name in news. Timothy Cobella says, yes, Pontiac Sunfire, but unlike the Cavalier you already reviewed, my Sunfire has a manual transmission. Yeah, I mean, you'd have to go the difference, and it would, like a review like that about the Sunfire, since we covered the mechanicals all in the Cavalier video, it'd be like, who buys a Sunfire? I mean, the Sunfire is just a trash class car. That's all it is. Insert name here says, hey. I can lean back for a minute now that the super chats are all concluded. What about a Pontiac Vibe? See, then you'd have to do the difference between, like, if I had infinite time, I would like to have a Matrix and a Vibe both at the same time. I'd have to find a way to arrange that. Which means I'd have to find a Matrix and a Vibe both in East Central Pennsylvania and have them come to the Racquetball Club. That would be cool. Llama Monster says, I like peaches. That Presidents of the United States of America song. I wonder if as I age, I will continue to retreat into the 90s and listen to songs like Lump and Possum Kingdom and the Eels and the Verve and the Flies. Man, got you where I want to. You hit the nail on the head. The 2 J-Body Sunfire owners I know are my ex and my friend who got a reckless op and accident in a rental car. I'm not sure what a reckless op is, but okay. Royalwitz says, greetings from Poland. Greetings. Blind Melon, says Dana. Yes. Blind Melon. 100 ruples. I wonder how much 100 ruples is. How's the ruple to dollar lately? We'll see how much it goes down, I guess. Just to give you another strange currency, what would be a good non-American 60 to 70s cars that won't break the bank, but nothing regular like a BMW or Volkswagen? Huh. You could go old school Civic, like super old school. Those are pretty popular in Southern California. You could find, yeah, you said not BMW. I was just about to go BMW 2002. You could talk to David Grimshaw, our friend in Austin, who you will see, by the way, in a RCR Austin when RCR goes to Austin. I made a little quick video. I saw a $2 question go by. Broken the Fourth Wall says, damn, have an Estrella on me. Great cheap beer. Thank you, Broken Fourth Wall. Honda Accord Wagon. JJ Astley just says Honda Accord Wagon. Don't forget Cake. How can I not forget Cake? Isn't it true that Cake, all of his songs are simultaneously about cars and his cock? I don't mind if that's the case. Czechoslovakian. Hi from Switzerland. What do you think of Ford dumping its entire line in favor of SUV and trucks? I think they're putting all their eggs in the large margin bracket. They're going for high margins. Maybe they're just not going to attempt to compete anymore. It's interesting. I mean, they're going to come back. They're going to make small cars again. Or, you know, maybe they'll slowly bring over like their European market or something like that. But I think what they're doing is winning the battle against Kia, Hyundai, and even Subaru's coming up by not competing at all. But like, we're just going to concentrate on trucks. You know, it's kind of a move that I think Chrysler should have done 10 years ago. Just, you know, they still got that Chrysler 200. I think they should have just stopped. Be like, we're Chrysler. We're going to make commercial vehicles. We're going to make trucks, and we're going to make Jeeps. Now, a lot of people would lose their jobs if they did that, but, you know, people are losing their jobs anyway. John, thanks for $5, John. John says, will you say, Mika, I love you? Mika, I love you really close to the mic in your best voice.
What do you mean, the real gravelly voice? This one? Mika, I love you.
Or do you want it like, Mika, I love you? Or maybe you wanted like, one quick thing, Chef Sasso, before your thing disappears. No word on those forklifts. Oh, yeah. Don't worry about it, man. No word on those forklifts, yes, but I might be able to get you an invite to brew a pilot beer with us if you're interested. Yeah, thanks for $5, man. Send me an email. You know the drill. regularcars@gmail.com. Say it's Chef Psycho with the deer avatar from the chat or from the live stream, just so I know who it is. Yeah, the idea of Red Rocket YouTube says, Mr. Regular, you're my hero and I love you. Thanks, man. You make my day feel a little bit better. Thanks. I'm not the sharpest egg in the attic. When you through hike the AT, possible 2020, are you going to buy crazy expensive gear like others or try to do it with average stuff? I don't know. See, what I'm learning, let me just close the super chat so I can see the regular questions. The thing about expensive gear is that, which I'm finding, just because it's expensive doesn't mean it's the best stuff out there. Just means it costs a lot. I see pricey gear. I see cheap gear. You're really going to want to find out what keeps you warm, keeps you healthy. That's another thing. I go out for one night, I catch a chill and get cold for a week. What I'm going to do for the next 2 years is I'm going to buy average gear. My Kelty tent will get here sometime within this week. And I'm going to go out and I'm going to camp with that and see how it goes. And I think, and this goes back to the other guy's question who wants to get into hiking and also camping. Oh, one sec. $2 question. Oh, I'm going away. Are you going to make a documentary about the 90s Speed Wars? Me and the 90s Speed Wars documentary is like Mark Borchardt and Northwestern, which is an obscure reference. I don't know if I'd make money on it. Would it go straight to YouTube? How much money would I have to spend to do that documentary the way I want it to? Would Jay Leno give me his time just to talk about 90s motorcycles? Like, do you think I could talk to Ewan McGregor about what it was like in the 90s for him and motorcycles? Would I travel to Japan? Like, first of all, does that letter really exist? There's no proof of it. That letter. Anyway, I'm sorry. Is there going to be a meet in Ames, Iowa? If so, do you have a time frame in mind? If not, is there any upcoming meets 4 hours of Ames? There is no upcoming meets within 4 hours of Ames. It would probably be in Ames, Ames, Iowa. Eames, Iowa. Man. I'd have to Jeez, I'd have to work it out with Iowa State somehow that we could use their parking lot or use a student parking lot, which means the meet would probably be in summertime. But I would kind of do it while class is in session anyway. I don't know the layout of Eames, Iowa, so I'd have to do legwork on my part just to figure out where you would do it. Ricky Spanish. Ricky Spanish sends me $5. Thank you, Ricky Spanish. What was it? We were having a fine time down Mexico way or in TJ or Tijuana or something. American Dad reference. Quinn Dixon says, fix the snapping belt on my 1980. Oh, hey, Quinn. Yes, it's on the calendar. Don't worry. And Quinn, thanks for the cash, man. You don't have to keep doing this, but thanks. Inviting me to your show and you're still giving me dunkets, which I made like a 90s hip-hop reference to money. Fixing a snapped bolt on my 1982 Han, getting it ready for the shows and parades, then having some hot dogs, beer, burgers, and A-Treat draft birch beer. What bolt snapped, man? Michael Weiss says, when will you be coming to thanks for the $2, Mike Mitchell. When will you be coming to Atlanta next? I don't know. Atlanta is one of the places I could come to in my search for a Mazda 6 GT wagon. Again, south or something like that, where cars don't rust out. But now you have to worry about flood cars from freaking Texas. That's something. Hourly B says, I'm graduating from MECN College in August. I'm wondering where to go for a good job. New Hampshire, PA, or Maryland. Wondering if you have any sage advice. So you have a mechanical engineering degree? New Hampshire. I don't know what's up in New Hampshire, and I'm not an engineer. Gosh, man. I mean, Pennsylvania, there is Philly. It's an easy place to visit, I guess. Wonder how New Hampshire gets worked into the mix. Mechanical engineering degree. I mean, I talked to some guys from MIT. I'd suppose it'd be wherever there's manufacturing. There are shipyards in Pittsburgh. David Benning says, and thanks for the $5, David. What are some manufacturers you think might be starting to get weird again, like the Stinger? I think we're due for 90s automotive weirdness resurgence. I think so too, because like the late 80s and 90s, it was a combination of new technology and old technology. And right now, everything is regular cars, the official stream of, oh, that's a good line. Hey, when you write, you get ideas. Keegan, thanks for the $5, Keegan. Best starter motorcycle to learn on for a 400-pound man that can't afford a Polaris slingshot and has mediocre balance. Detroit trip coming anytime soon. 400 pounds. To learn on. Oh boy. I keep coming back to Harley. You're gonna have to have. You could learn. Gosh darn it! I'd have to know how much your inseam is. Something that's gonna have a cargo weight of over 400 pounds, and that eliminates lots of the small stuff. Honda Shadow 800. I think that's as small as you can go. Honda Shadow 800. You just have to be honest with the salesperson. Of course, the salesperson's gonna You know, they just want to sell you a bike. They don't care what it is. As far as Detroit, honestly, I have no plans to come to Detroit. Sorry. I think Honda Shadow 800, Honda Shadow 900, or Honda Shadow even 1100. I think with the shaft drive, especially on the 1100, will be soft enough that it's not going to do anything. You don't think it's not going to do anything nasty, and you'll still be able to control it and learn on it. I don't know whether you'd be able to lift that bike up. I don't know. It is kind of heavy. Honda Shadow 1100, I think, is a 500-pound motorcycle. Honda Shadow 1100 really is what I'd lean on. It's a cruiser bike. Isaac fan, thanks for $10. What are your thoughts on my current lineup? 2006 Legacy Outback, and 1966 Porsche 912. Man, so you got your daily and you got your fun. Can't argue with that. I think that's a great lineup. 2006 Legacy Outback and 1996 Porsche 912. Wish Steph Schrader were here. She'd be all about that. As she says, all about the Porsche. Hey, it's Burgundy Burnouts again. You're becoming a staple on this. Getting a drone shot where the drone has an overhead view of the car and drops down in front of the driver and comes out of the car on the passenger side, T-tops off, and the car does a donut. And that's something you're doing? You're getting a drone shot where the drone has an overhead view of the car, drops down in front of the driver, and comes out of the car on the passenger side. Oh, you mean the drone enters the car? Or slices through that area where the T-tops would be? I'd be up for a shot like that if I was wearing my armored motorcycle jacket, full face helmet, and gloves. Because we were with some guys filming cars who had a really nice drone, and all of them had scars on it from trying to chase this thing. And those blades of a quadcopter just slicing into people's arms. And one guy had stitches to slice that thing back up. Ben Jammin says, Mr. RCR. Duck McMasters says, Kawasaki Vulcan 900. Good bike, man. I forgot about that. Is actually no one willing to lend a Geo Metro? I'm sure there's some, but they're out in some place we haven't gone to. Thanks for $10, Angry Clown 1990. Would you be interested in doing a not a car review on a Freightliner Cassendia? That's I think a semi truck, commercial semi. Already asked my company about it, and they say it's fine. I've been offered trucks before. What do they call them? Bobtails if they're not hauling a trailer. See, I don't have a CDL license. So I don't know how I'm going to drive it. And because I want to drive it. But I can't because I don't have a CDL. And I don't even have a doctor's card or medical card or anything. I could call up Carrie and she could drive it. But how would I give an honest assessment if I didn't get time behind the wheel? That's a big question. And I'd also have to talk to your company. Like, look, do you know he's offering this car to a commercial car review thing and offering to let someone without a CDL drive the darn thing? That's a thing. Eggman 973. Hey, thanks for the $2, man. Let me make sure I'm not Ricky Spanish just throws in another $2. Thanks. Jake Hanbury. Thanks for $10, man. Best beginner bike for someone with one leg, rickets, and bad credit. One leg? Well, they do make alternate control bikes. You can ride a motorcycle if you have no legs. There are companies that go out that build those little outriggers that come down. It is totally a thing that happens. Deacon Rothschild, thanks for $5. I feel bad for the people who aren't doing the super chat, so probably hold off for like 10 minutes so I can give regular people a chance. What's a good first car if you want to go to track days that is not a Miata or a Honda S2000? That's not a Miata. Panther body. That was something they said at that at Harris Hill. So that's what's another car I see a lot of, and they say Panther body. It's like people track those things all the time. They're super cheap. The parts are cheap. Yeah, they're big boats, but they're predictable big boats. So yeah, Crown Vics, Panther bodies. Oh, sorry, Burgundy Burnouts. Did I screw something up? Bet you could drive a semi at H2R. Yeah, probably. Probably I could. Thanks for $2. Burgundy Burnout says, you missed my previous super chat. I asked if you thought about getting a drone. I'm using and the answer is no. I have no interest in getting a drone. I'm using a DJI Maverick to get the shot for my take on modern commercial for the Firebird. And yeah, I'm wearing a helmet. Yeah, good deal. Especially with that helmet. Your jugular veins and stuff. I've never thought about getting a drone. The thought came and passed, but I don't have... I think drones are played out unless they're used in a really specific way. The only shots I have is like a GTA third-party shot or third point of view shot. Oh, one guy's question is about to go away. Sorry. I Snowboard 17 says, thoughts on a first-gen SV650 as a first... it's a bit much of a bike to learn wrenching on. No, I wouldn't go with that bike. Interested by carbs and general tuning would also be my daily. Also, North Carolina in the future. Maybe, yeah, North Carolina. There's a guy with a Model 3 down there that's offered it up. No. SV650 could kill you. That's a fast bike, and also it's a V-twin. Some people learn on them. I'm not a fan. You want a bike to learn carbs? Get a bike with one carburetor. You don't have to balance carburetors. That's a weird thing. I'd say find like a Yamaha SR 500 if you could, or Suzuki Savage 650, something like that, or Dual Sport would also be good. Jake Hanbury's still there. And then Burgundy Burnouts, you missed my previous super chat. Yeah, drones. Yeah, the only interest I have in drone shots is the one that's directly behind the car, like third person Grand Theft Auto style. Oh, Chris Edwards says, get on the Joe Rogan podcast sometime. Weiss, I like your supermarket, Weiss. Having to balance something. Oh crap! What did you say? What did you just say there? Having to balance what? Weiss. Having to balance 4 carbs on 4. Yeah, it sucks unless you have a manometer. I tried balancing the carbs on my GS 500. I guess they were close. Yeah, your first carbureted bike should really be as simple as it freaking gets. 1 piston, 1 carburetor. It's always tuned, man. It's always good. And you don't discount one-lungers. My DR650, that thing pulls away. Only has a top speed of about 90 miles an hour, but it gets to 80 it gets to 70 pretty darn quick. Alex90 says, for 20 pounds, there is an American car show coming up here soon. It is very interesting as retirees turn up in their Cadillacs and hot rods wearing cowboy hats. Oh boy. Drinking root beer and passing the time with line dancing. Line dancing's weird, man. I'm from the north. I'm I'm pure Yankee. I don't get line dancing. And some people do it around here. Nick does like square dancing and line dancing. That's one of my fears, man. I think my greatest fear is dancing. How do you like that? Scared of it. I wonder why. Dancing was never really big around here. I got the vibe in like high school dances where, you'd have a few people dancing and most people on the back wall hugging the wall and kind of smirking and scoffing at everybody dancing. You even go to like outdoor concerts in Pennsylvania and everybody just stays in the back, the way back. No one goes up to the stage. That's why it was refreshing going out to Pittsburgh and seeing the Slackers. Everybody crowds the stage. And I got to dance there and I didn't feel weird about it. Sorry for picking my nose. Yeah, that's you know, there's like Americans acting British. I'm talking like English, like posh English at car shows, and they're with their MG-As, Austin Healey's and stuff. What is that? The Baby Austin or something? I saw one of those things. They all get tweeted up. Man, if I was from the UK and I saw that, I bet that would piss me off. When you say American culture, I'm like, I don't know what it means, because Pennsylvania doesn't really have it. I was talking to Len earlier, and she was letting me know that I do this thing where there is kind of a holier than thou shit talking thing that goes on in PA. And I do it, and I'm like, bitching is a fast pastime, and like bitching about other people who aren't here. You like them, but you're talking shit about them. Tim asks, hey, thanks for the $10, Tim. When did you get rid of Silicone Sally? Was there something wrong with it that prompted you to give it away, or did you just want to move on to something different? My gear got larger. My dad clicked. Everything went away. Are we still here? Are we still here? I hope we're still here. Uh-oh, the chat's not moving. Uh-oh. Hey, what do you think about Bake Oven Knob? Nice. Let me answer the question about, come back to Bake Oven Knob. I'll cross my fingers to remind myself to talk about Bake Oven Knob. Now, what was I talking about? Silicone Sally. Yeah, my gear got larger. I got a Pelican case, and the short wheelbase of the Fit, especially on Pennsylvania roads, first generation Fit, of course, was just way too bumpy to get good shots. And we couldn't carry all our gear and have people in the back seat. I was always shuffling the gear throughout the car as the shoot moved on. There was no just setting stuff up and then working out of the car. I needed more space to work, and the Subaru Forester solves that wonderfully. I love the car. It's not as reliable. It's throwing that check engine light that I don't feel like fixing. That friggin' emissions code. Oh, shit. Did I leave someone hanging here? Oh, that's the why did you get rid of Silicone Sally question. Okay. I'm from West Virginia, and we're used to Pennsylvania people bitching. Yeah, sorry. We mean well. We really don't mean it when we complain about everything. I wish we didn't. Okay. Bake Oven Knob, and then I'll get on to Red Rocket. How do I like Bake Oven Knob? It's one of the oldest shelter. You're talking about the Lookout or the Shelter? The Lookout's great. The rocks are tagged like crazy, so if it's raining, you got to know that those rocks are now painted. So it's tough. The Shelter is one of the oldest shelters on the AT, and there's wasps in it. All in all, it's an easy hike, though. You can just take a bottle of water and hike from the trailhead up to the Shelter and back. It's good. It's great. It's fun. Fun times are had by all. Red Rocket says, the real question is, would you get a Honda Fit again if it came with all-wheel drive and or turbo options? I'd get it if it came with a turbo and just front-wheel drive. And metal tie-down loops in the back, and how good it would be as a camera car. That's the most important thing. All-wheel drive, you know, I think I can go without it. I went one winter with the Forester. It's like all-wheel drive is freaking amazing. But we didn't really film in too many of the winter days and didn't really need it. So, and then half the time you're in summer and thinking about all the fuel you're wasting by sending the power to all four wheels all the time. Let's see if I can pronounce this Pennsylvania name correctly. Matt Gnarchik. Oh, how close am I? Matt Gnarchik. There's a T in there, but I wonder if you pronounce it or not. Hi, Mr. Regular. I'm a Berks County native. Hey, right over the border. Current DC area resident. Aw. And proud owner of a 1995 Ford Contour. Hey, question. What is my favorite hot sauce? I had this really good hot sauce that I bought at a beer fest that it's still in my fridge. I should go point it at the camera. I like sriracha, store brand sriracha. It's pretty good. There's none that I really seek out, but this hot sauce has been pretty good. I like a nice wing sauce. It's tough to find a hot sauce that doesn't have corn syrup in it, because some people like to overly sweet their hot sauce. Let me get that bottle of hot sauce, and I'll be back. Yeah, Jimmy, Tepato is good too. Level 100, regular, good podcast. Where's the other guy? Where's Nick? He's in Richmond, Virginia right now. So, or maybe he's driving back today. So it's just me today. What is HUF? Here's some more weird currency. If you ever come to Central Europe, something about ska music or Skoda. Here's more weird currency. If you ever come to Central Europe, you can review my 5-speed Skoda Fabia, which is a Volkswagen, right? Skodas are cheap Volkswagens. Cars don't get more regular than that. It'd be neat to have like just the body panels to turn a Volkswagen into a Skoda here. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get hot sauce. This is the hot sauce. Pfeifen good. Kimchi. Is it going to focus or not? It says kimchi inspired, which means there probably isn't anything in it. But that's a hot sauce I bought at a beer fest. And I thoroughly enjoy it. Josh Werso says, favorite leg exercise? Calf raises, because I'm really good at it, and I can do 500 pounds. It's the only rack I can run at the gym. I don't need to do calf raises, but I do them anyway, because I can run the rack, and it makes me feel good. Deadlift, squats, etc. I can do them, and I hate them. Show me someone who likes deadlifts, and I'll show me someone who likes deadlifts, and I'll show you someone who's dead inside. Also, have a name picked out for your hiking channel. It'll probably just be regular hiking reviews. Do you think that's dumb? Regular hikes. Regular hikes? I would probably go by the trail name Regular just to make things easy. Because IB Tat, that YouTube channel, he tried getting a trail name, and for a while I think it was Potty Mouth, but because he was blogging the whole way there, it was just easier to just say IB Tat. He says, well, my name's Potty Mouth, but my channel's IB Tat, so you say, look, just look me up on YouTube by my YouTube name. So the YouTube channel would be probably just Regular Hikes if it's not picked already. Now watch, someone's going to squat on it. And then I'd have to pick something else. Thanks for the Canadian $5. Would you ever be considered in doing the Woodward Dream Cruise? It's the world's largest single-day event. I'd like to go to it. I don't think I'd be interested in being in it, because I've been in a traffic jam in Chicago before. Just because I'm in a classic car doesn't make it any different. I'd like to go and watch it. Have a little drink. Eat your casserole pizza. And just watch the cars go by. I think that'd be a lot more fun. Iced Ink, thanks for $5. Has anybody offered a semi truck for review yet? Yeah, earlier on in this stream, someone offered one, so that was good. Cool Drone says, I've never seen a Camel 2 made out of balls before. You look more regular than the cars you review. 40% of white, early millennial America is something glasses 911. What? Technically, I'm not a millennial. Tail end of Gen X. I was born in 1981, and that's the last, I think, of the Gen Xers. You look more regular than the cars you review. 40% of white, early millennial America called, and they want their beards and glasses back. And also 9/11. I was in college when that happened. And so it was always someone legitimately gave me a C note? Nashio. Seriously, is that for real? You just threw up a C note. Michael Wise, 99 cents. Awesome. I think I'll use some of that 99-cent money to buy some Purell that the hikers need. Man, sending me $100? Thank you. You say, and I noticed that it's red. That caught my eye. It's like, I've never seen what is this redness? It's big. It's like, you better give this guy the time of day. So nobody else do any sort of super chat, because for this guy's cash, he gets my attention for a long time. But don't worry, Jimmy Sanchez. Technically not a millennial either. 1998 start of Gen Z. Hey, yeah. Don't worry, I'm not ignoring anybody else. How about reviewing a tank? If it comes, it comes. And so will I. Love all the content you and Nick have been making. Trying to visit family in Pennsylvania, Connecticut sometime next spring. Would you want to do yet another BMW? It has metal tie-down loops. Is it a wagon? Well, you know the drill, man. Regularcars@gmail.com. That's the way to submit a car, and that's the way you get my attention. To review stuff. That's the way it goes. I'm flattered that you think my time is worth that kind of cash. I promise you I will put it to good use. I'm not going to squander it and, spend it on dumb things. Which is weird that you get some YouTubers like rolling around in fancy cars. I'm not talking about Freddie and his junkyard Lamborghini. I think that car is hilarious. I want to drive it. I want to see that thing up close. Which means I'd have to go down to Florida. Notice how my voice went down when I said that? Florida. I gave a ride to some thru hikers today, and one of them was from Florida. He was like, man, you guys have a lot of land up here. I'm like, yeah? It's like, it's all tract houses down in Florida. Should I talk more to... Well, I have to, I guess, pay attention to other people. I can't let you go. That $100 bill is going to stay up there for a long time. Daniel Bevivigo says, hey, Mr. Regular, like the show. What do people mean when they mention you in Kutztown, though? Well, Kutztown is where I went to school. I went to Kutztown University for undergrad and grad, and we reference a lot, and some reviews are shot there. Love Kutztown. Great little town. They mention you in Kutztown. And that's also where the KU Car Show, where Nick and I did radio. So that was Kutztown University Radio. So you can find that there. I did the bad thing. I went to Kutztown for undergrad and graduate school. So that was a thing. Andrew Finnick, thanks for $5. Not a C note. It's all good, man. Review request 2000-2001 Honda CBR 929RR. Is that one of the detuned like 919 or something? Is that like a more upright version of that? Like all those weird early 2000s bikes are coming way down in price because people, tried to make them look modern with fender eliminator kits, aka a Sawzall. And man, you can get like really, really fast bikes for like $2,000, stuff from the early 2000s. Weaponized autism just says hentai. RCR Japan already happened, Weiss. Yeah. No, it didn't. I kind of want to have some of that hot sauce right down there because I'm hungry. I'm going to hike a lot. Tony Richardson says, nice chair. Hey! Kiwi money. NZ, $1. Thank you, Alexander. I didn't save any of my money. Did I withdraw any cash down in New Zealand? I don't think I did. I think I paid with everything with plastic and even endured the surcharges. Some guy says you got a Tomos for 100 euros. Not teabag, right? Hey, RCR, watching the Isle of Man race? No, I'm here talking to you guys and wishing I had more coffee. I don't really need more, and I gotta go to the gym after this. All I have to eat around here for quick food is just cereal, and that's not really good to do something else. One guy wants an apartment tour. There's nothing to see in here, man. This is my largest room in my tiny little apartment. Baz says, any YouTubers I am not fond of. I wouldn't answer that question because there's no point in starting grief. There's people I like, and some of these people that I adore the most are channels that I don't watch. And then there's channels I really like, and I know the people personally, and I kind of don't want to hang out with them. Creativity is a weird thing. And I think when you start outwardly griping about people, you run out of friends to talk to. So, what's the point in really going down that road? Tech says too much S&M gear around that he's embarrassed about. This is a camera strap. Robert, another weird currency, says, what's a fun, simple, cheap, but slow bike besides a Tomos? Kawasaki Eliminator 125. Good luck getting to 60 miles an hour. And that's a bike that almost looks like a full-size bike, and it's a 125cc single. Great. You can rev that thing out all day. It's a wonderful little thing. That's a fun, cheap, slow bike. Kawasaki Eliminator 125. It's got this big-ass exhaust pipe that tries to make it look like a big bike. And then when you look in the middle of the exhaust, you see it's like tiny hole in the back. Like the guy's wearing a cock sleeve. Mike Bombera. Thanks for $10, Mike. I gotta get more water or something. I got nothing to do today. I picked up some thru hikers, hung out with them. I hang out with thru hikers because there's nobody else to hang out with. Now I'm here with you guys. Mike Bumbler. What is your opinion on calling the American Corolla GTS an AE86? You recently said it's incorrect in your AE86 review, but Progression D said that it's still an AE86. Any word on this? In my view, if it's right-hand drive, it's an AE86. If it's not, it's, an AE whatever it is. It's a Corolla GTS. No. But I understand that people with USDM Nissan 240Zs want to call their things S13s. I concede that language is always malleable because it has to be. And if you know what the person's talking about, what's the problem? Stephen Fry had that whole rant about people who intentionally correct other people's language and said, sod them all to Hades. It's fun. It's fun to be a stickler for definitions. But don't do it at the bar. Don't do it in casual conversations. Do it when it needs to be. The Warp Rider says, you should ride my weird bikes. I have a Cagvi... What have we got here? Cagvia Mito 125, an MZ Scorpion, an FCR 400, I don't know what that is, and a Rainbow Ducati 748 at Operation Pride Bike on Instagram. What is a Cagvia Mito 125, an MZ Scorpion? Odd things, right? Do I watch Tom Scott? If not, I should. Tom Scott. I feel like I know who that is, but I'm not sure. Any plans to review a 3000 GT R4? I have no plans yet, but I want to. It's going to come up. Alexander, thanks for the $10. And if it's going to move to the top of the screen, and now I have to... core strength. Look at it again. One guy says, I'll get to your question in 1 sec. I got to get to the tiny one here. Not that it's tiny. Thanks for the £2. Not so tiny. Have I got favorite engines? Like any particular power plants? Tom Scott, red shirt versus interesting places and explains textures. Still not ringing a bell. Do I have favorite engines? You know what I think, honestly, one of my favorite engines is? Honda D-Series. Just those little single jingles that behave like dual cams. I think that's one of my favorite engines. Because as Nick says, it punches above its weight class. You may have expected me to say LS or Windsor Block or, you know, RB20 or... what's the STI motor? Those. But you know, one of the most interesting little engines is the Honda D-Series. That little single jingle. It was in everything that wasn't an SI back in the 80s and 90s. Had a distributor and everything. Alexander says, do I game often? That's the cool way of saying video games. You know what I've been playing? Original Deus Ex. 4th playthrough. I really need to get something to drink because I'm honestly, this coffee's making me feel nauseous. Do I game often? In previous reviews, I heard you make references to Undertale and Final Fantasy. If so, what game are you into currently? Yeah, classic Deus Ex. I don't keep up with modern games because honestly I don't have time. I thought about getting Fortnite, but... And I watched a playthrough and I'm like, nah. I don't like games where I need a rush. I don't like games that are urgent. My reaction time isn't what it used to be. I can't get excited for online play anymore. I think I could play like flight simulators or things like that. Hi, Mr. Regular. I don't have a question, just thanking you and Nick for being so entertaining over the past few years. Thank you very much. Thank you for the £5. Jacob Shappy, the Jacob Shapiro says, I'm looking for a first car. Mom is concerned about safety, as it is her job. So no MX-5, nope. Something manual, rear-wheel drive and fun. Going to Florida, no snow. I'm thinking IS300. Any ideas? That's fine. She's probably going to think something with airbags. Like, if she throws a fit over the rear-wheel drive and says you got to have front-wheel drive, fine. You want the rear-wheel drive so you can break the rear end loose, I get it. She wants the airbags, and you want something fun. Yeah, all my fun stuff doesn't have airbags, does it? Yeah, if you want the rear-wheel drive, Lexus IS300 will be good. I keep coming back to the Honda Civic EH2 as like the ultimate fun machine. I think that's fun than more than a lot of rear-wheel drive cars out there. Base Subaru Impreza with a manual. Those are fun. I think I'm gonna need water or something like that. If you do Toronto this summer, this summer's already booked, man. The only free month August is where I'm planning stuff now. If you do Toronto this summer, will you go to other parts of southern Ontario like Windsor? I have a family abused 06 Caravan that I emailed you about. We would probably spend time outside Toronto, not inside Toronto proper. We'd be outside the expressway that goes around Toronto. I forget, is that the Queen something? That's where we would be. We'd be near enough Toronto that if someone wants to drive us downtown, we could. But we'd be well outside the city limits, so we wouldn't be rushed. Mega Green Lucas says, I think it's very mature of you to own up to your hair loss instead of pretending it doesn't exist. I think your hair looks still pretty good. Thanks. Props to you. Yeah, if I pull it down here. You know, it looks all right in the camera because camera is all fuzzy and stuff. So you can't really see that. There it is. There. See when I pull it apart? You can see the scalp right through it. Bzzz. That's a solution. I have a D series in my 200 EJ hatch, but it's only 1.4, but it's fun as heck. Yeah, hell yeah, man. And can take a beating. Also super easy to work on. Exactly. A little D series. Matt Farrell likes them too. They just wring the hell out of those little engines. Those are great. It's one of the great designs. I'll also say another favorite engine is a motorcycle engine called the Honda Twin Star. Twin cylinders, one carburetor. No oil filter. So you got to change your oil every 1,000 miles, but that's okay. It only takes a quart and a half. Hourly B says, and after Hourly B, no more super chats for a second. I have to get a drink of water. I don't want to leave you guys hanging. Is a Fox Body 5-liter a good car to buy for learning how to do modifications on? Oh boy. Also tell Nick that I like RCR stories. Will do. Also to the guy who said MA to my first question, I live in Boston, and no. Sorry for the sniffles. To learn, you've never done any sort of modifications. No. That's OBD1. The Windsor block can be modified, but the ultimate modification to a 5-liter Windsor block is removing it and placing an LS motor in its place. That's the thing, man. You can build up a 5.0, and you know what you get? A stock LS motor. It sucks, man, doesn't it? And I have one. Matt Happel said 5.0s look good. They sound good. Like, I could do modifications on mine. Different cam, this or that. And it just doesn't work. So the answer is something with an LS engine, because sloppy mechanics exist. I'd say an engine to do modifications on, again, you know, people hate. But nothing brings out the haters like winners. It's a good line. Should write that down. Nothing brings out haters like winning. So yeah. Learn to do modifications on an old Chevy truck with an LS engine in it. Or, not really people. There's no point in really modifying a D-series engine. My answer, this is a Tavares question. My answer would be whatever like HP tuners make software for. I think that's the way to learn the basics of tuning. Or motorcycles. Because there you can learn jetting really, really easy. But Some people say Subaru, but, you know, it's easy to bust those engines. They can't take the abuse that an iron block can. So my answer sticks. Old Chevy workvan. Joseph Batchelor says, just drunk enough to give you some cash. Thanks, man. Thanks, Joseph. $4.99. Public service announcement. Listen with the slackers for the full experience. I totally agree, man. Paul Fabich, thanks for the $5, man. Want to drive a 350Z while in Chicago. 6MT, tons of mods. Thanks for the offer, man, and thanks for the $5. My 4 cars, the 4 vehicles, I should be saying, that I'm going to do in Chicago, I've already picked. 2 of them have confirmed, 2 have not. So the night is still young. Guys, I'm just going to get up quick and get some water. Exactly. Beach of the Space Pirate. Dang it, Mr. Regular. Water. Water and peeing. I will let the hot sauce have the seat. He will be taking no questions. Look at that. Look at that timing. Oh, that's good. I don't know if it's good or if I'm just hungry. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Mm. This is not going to help my sore throat if I just take a sip of this. Just germs. What did I pay? $10 for this? Worth it. Oh. Supposed to shake it. Fife and good. If you're in Pennsylvania. Definitely a sauce that's worth your time. Stuart Schrader says, witness me. I am an animal. That was perverse to listen to, wasn't it? Nash Turner says, what did I just walk into? Sounds like a super hot, robust stream. Oh, I wish I could answer your question. What do I think of the Peugeot 106 GTI? Never driven and it doesn't exist in the US, so really what's the point of that? Toyota Camry, official car of okay kids, now you be good, daddy is going to have his faculty meeting. Yeah, because like the kids are... That also raised the question, where's mom? Maybe at work. I know 1990 Subaru wagons are all the same, but you'll be willing to review a post office one. would it be a complete right-hand conversion, or is that one with the weird wheel that turns the other wheel? First gen turbo Mazda MX-6. Ever see one at a car show? No. No, I haven't. What's your view on the GMC Typhoon? I don't know. I've never seen one. Well, I'm sorry, that was a lie. There was one at Bruce Hens, wasn't there? It was just for us. It wasn't like the Chevy SS that was really a Commodore. It was a weird experiment just for us. I love it. I like when they do weird cars for the sake of performance. And it's kind of like that Callaway, isn't it? Or any sort of Z06. Oh, excuse me. It's only 6. This winter was so long and harsh, it's kind of weird that it's still bright outside. Still need to go to the gym. Scott O'Doherty says, can you tell my friend Joe, who is watching in your best Mr. Plinkett voice, that his Mark 1 Audi TT is super reliable car in every way? Mr. Plinkett, it's right down here in my basement. I gotta get your question to come back up again. Well, Joe, your Mr. Mark 1 Audi TT is super reliable in every way. I had a little baby boy. He was perfect in every way. You take your Mark 1 Audi TT. It's starting to get like... The Phantom Menace was the worst thing I ever saw since my son. All right. Your Mark 1 Audi TT is super reliable car in every way. It never ever breaks down, and all the engineering totally makes sense. How was that? John McCain's. I love these joke ones because they're easy to answer. John McCain says, I'm still alive. I can't do it. John McCain doesn't sound like that. I don't know what John McCain sounds like. I'm still alive. Yeah, John McCain, where were you in the 2000 election when we needed you? Oh, well. Jeffrey Rainey, $5 Canadian, says, is there any clips of Dr. Schwartz? No clips of Dr. Schwartz. I can't disassociate the voice from Harold Slavinsky character. Harold Slavinsky is not really Dr. Schwartz, but it's inspired. Or can you impersonate him in a natural state? I feel weird doing it because he's like straight out of a Woody Allen movie in a good way, in a totally good way, and he's a fan of Woody Allen. Like what, Manhattan or something like that. I wouldn't want to try to impersonate him. Great teacher though. Once you figured him out, he really knew his stuff. Alexander Powillis, thanks for the $10, Alex. I repair personal computers. I find it funny that computer processing units and engines have similar measurement scales. CPU clock speed equals engine liters. CPU core count equals engine cylinder count. That's a pretty good way of looking at it. No question, just a fun fact. And what a good fun fact it is. I wish I had other stuff to do today besides just going to the gym. It's weird YouTube life. You have really nothing going on. I miss hanging out with people and doing nothing, but at least doing nothing with people feels like something. I guess one of the weird things I really miss, especially about college, is that male sense of having a tribe or having a crew. And that feeling of going somewhere, maybe it replicates going on a hunt somehow. And after sort of 4 years of it, you feel so alone that you wonder why. Like when people start talking to you and be friendly to you, you kind of wonder why they're being so nice. Hillary, John McCain, no one likes you, move on. Classic. My wife smells like tuna. My wife smells like my wife smells like not well, my wife smells like tuna again. When I was in the UK, did you look at any French large luxury models such as the 506 or XM? No, didn't. I probably saw them. Didn't think much of it. Is RCR the you suck at cooking of cars? You suck at cooking the RCR of food? Not certain. Would you consider reviewing a Toyota pickup or Hilux? In the early days of RCR, that exists a Toyota Tacoma review. That was my roommate Tyler Grimm. That was his daily 5-speed, and you even see him in it. That was before he went into the Navy. Will Robinson, thanks for $20, man. Alaska question. Take my sweet time answering this one. Have you been to Yakutat or Yakutat? Have I been to Yakutat, Alaska? No, I haven't. Look it up on Google Maps. Very isolated. Okay. Don't question it. My dad almost got in an Alaska Airlines plane crash. Oh boy. Flying out of these during his job as a lawyer for the Alaska Department of Health. Everything's bush planes up there, isn't it? I should really manage this wire by yanking it up there. That didn't really help. Once round, twice round. Yeah, the Alaskan places where I lived or been to was Anchorage, Alyeska, King Salmon, New Haven, Egegik. Yeah, those 5 places. RCR Alaska, going back. If I do RCR Alaska, it would have to be in wintertime, probably. I don't know how I deal with Alaskan summers, because Los Anchorage becomes crazy. And then there's all the crazy mosquitoes, and the sun never sets. The sun never sets, it just fucks with your head. Even it starts getting bright like in April. You'd almost have to go in like March or something like that. Of course, it'd be March here, and you'd trade one winter for a different winter. Yeah, we'd film. It'd be mostly at night. Film in the snow, stuff like that. Julio Iglesias says, I just bought a Kia Forte. How much is this going to ruin my credit? Did you buy it with cash? Because if so, you don't have any problems. Kia Forte, they're doing what they can, right? Kia Forte. How much is this going to ruin my credit? I mean, it's a joke, but like, if you got it for a good price, what would I lease a Kia Forte for? $30 a month. I'd sign a 1-year lease for $30 a month. Jack Isbell says, you like bananas. One guy says he smashed up his Crown Vic. Do you think the Smoking Tire podcast is better now, or was it better when they actively hit bongs? I don't really notice a difference between, having hung out with Matt and Zach and everything. I don't notice a difference between stone Smoking Tire crew and sober Smoking Tire crew. I don't notice a difference at all. Those guys are pros. Donkey T says, is there a replacement for displacement? Yeah, direct injection and forced induction. For real. Ever read Max Stirner? Don't think I have. Who doesn't like hitting bongs? I'm actually waiting for weed right now. Classic. I get really huggy when I'm high. So if anybody ever gets me high, be prepared for touch. And me saying, I'm so happy to be your friend. I'm one of those guys. Anybody get frustrated at work when a coworker is on the same poop schedule as you? Yeah. It's funny if they're cool with it. And it's funny if you get to play battle shits. But not so funny if they're a dick. I really wanted to go out and hike the trail today because they keep saying it was going to rain. And it hasn't been raining. I could have gone up to Bake Oven Knob today. Of course, if I did, I'd get my Subaru all muddy. Weird thing, I bought a Subaru specifically for purposes like this. But I like it when it's clean. As opposed to my Honda Fit that I didn't care if it was dirty. Here we go. Dragon Arcadia. Thanks for the $10. Dragon Arcadia. I'd like to buy a motorcycle. Cash solves this problem. Let me make sure your question doesn't go away. I'd like to buy a motorcycle. But where I live, it's impossible to get anywhere without taking a highway. Okay, anything larger than 250 would be fine. What's a good, inexpensive beginner bike that's safe on the interstate? The bike, you are safe on the interstate. A 250 is perfectly fine. Ninja 250 will do it. But it's your skill that makes it safe. What's the old saying about racing? Work on the nut behind the wheel before you turn a nut on the car. And a bike, safe on the highway, that means your own judgment. You send a beginner out on the highway that knows the basics of motorcycling, put him on a Honda Goldwing, he'll think he's a highway champ. He's not. I think you should be out on the highway in an underweight bike, so you respect the madness that is highway and what it feels like to have a truck pass you and move you, what it feels like to get caught in a truck's wash and feel it move your helmet and know how to remain calm during that. So I think having a heavy bike that would be safe on the highway would lull you into a false sense of security. And you should just get on the bike that feels comfortable to you. Again, nothing more than a 400, depending on your body weight. I agree with Takeoff is best, Midjo, that older Ford Rangers are better than newer ones. Isn't that always the case, right? I wonder if I'm talking too close to the microphone again. Oh, here's a good question for you, 9-something-something-something-01. Continuously variable transmissions or classic automatic trannies? Manual is best. In terms of what, man? These are different gearboxes that do different things. If you're talking fuel economy, then modern CVTs are the best transmissions that exist. We learned that over at Steve Morris Subaru. that the CVT Impreza gets better mileage than the manual. No matter how well you shift that manual, the CVT delivers power better and can stay out of the power band and stay just in the perfect gear. If you're talking about drag racing, then a classic style automatic will be best. You're talking about the General Motors 4L80E. Heavy truck style transmission, also going to be adapted to cars. Take tons of power. I think you can run 1,000 horsepower through those things with no modification. I'm thinking more like 800. Like, I know. I don't. I just said 800. Go ask, how much horsepower can a 4L80E take? Look on the Sloppy Mechanics forums. It's been answered there. This is a normal question I get a lot. What is a car that you have not reviewed but you would like to review? K car. Specifically a Dodge Aries. Or I'll go Plymouth Reliant. 4-door sedan. Or wagon would be just as good. Kind of like the 4-door sedan though. Where do you not want to go for RCR? You talking about foreign countries? I do not want to go where I'm unwelcome. I do not want to go to a country that is a security risk. Unfortunately, there are a few of them. James Saw says, I thought the F4L80 was 800 Newton meters of torque. Yeah, I was going horsepower. I have no idea what torque it can take. And that's really the correct number when you're talking about, are you going to break a transmission or not? O. Schmidt says, update from a week ago. I got my Goldwing. It's been great. Hey! Classic Goldwing. Also, any word on a regular car reviews meet this year? I'm thinking late summer like we did it last time. And maybe around Labor Day. Be enough time for me to plan. I'll see if I can get Renee to open a bar. Everybody's been cool the last few years. So I think we can allow people to have a beverage or two as long as they keep it inside. Should be good. Nobody buy me drinks. Like, I'm the host. I can't get sloppy. Mr. Regular, would you do a shitty European EU car series? We'd have to go to like Germany. If we go back to the UK and it'd be on my own dime, that's where we're going. I'm getting a sore throat. Let me get a cough drop. Menthol. Do you think Mazda will bring back the Wankel engine? If they do bring it back, it'll be a colossal flop, and they'll bring it back and everybody will cheer, no one will buy any, and then it'll go away, and then everybody will say, I told you so. Aaron A-Rod says tips for starting college. Well, that all depends on what your major is. If you're going into college for writing, my advice would be screw that degree. Take courses, audit courses, and don't worry about that degree. That's my answer. There's been a lot of June bugs in my apartment, but I don't feel like killing them because they hardly ever fly. And when they die, they get all dried out, and it's easy to pick them up and throw them away. They call them stink bugs, but they don't stink. They only make that stink thing when you mess with them. They're the only bugs, they're only flying bugs I've seen that would rather not fly. They don't have mouths either. They just have these little sippy straws coming out of their face there. Honestly, I have no idea how they're getting in here because June bugs are pretty large. I wonder if this grosses people out when people come over this apartment that have June bugs here. I think they're kind of silly though. They fly around and then they fly straight into walls and fall. And then they sort of look around like they meant to do that. Sometimes they start a when they do fly. Because they kind of go... They're like, oh, that's all the flying you're doing today? Okay. Spotted lanternfly. Yeah, you see those pop-up ads and there's warning signs up in the state game lands that warn you about those things. I haven't seen any. Brad Lancaster says, I haven't seen a June bug since like 1998. Why, where are you living that you don't have June bugs? You know what? I don't think they had June bugs in New Zealand. You can pick them up and then they pee on you. Then they make that smell. Hey man, have you saw an LS Aston Martin from Makala Motorsports? Greetings from Greece. Hello from Greece. No, I did not see that. The only British car I saw with an American one is the one that's on Bruce Hen's channel. It's a Jaguar XKE. I think we would call it an E-Type, or our version of the E-Type. With a Chevy 350 with throttle body fuel injection in it. Still goes like stink though. Scared the crap out of me. John Cottonball says, what's my opinion on the coolant exeg free valve design? Think it may be the next big design and change in engine? I hope so. You know, we heard about that like 4 years ago, 5 years ago. We haven't heard anything since. So, who knows? I wonder if it's so expensive to make reliable that it's only gonna it's only gonna exist in hypercars. Davis Tuck says, legitimate question. Have you watched any of the time-lapse engine builds by Haggerty? Yes. I think I watched their Ford Panhead, and I watched their just the general Chevy 350 small block one. They're great. They're filmed great. Okay, here we go. Jeff Della, thanks for the $5, Jeff. I should go for 2 hours. I'd have to go for another 25 minutes. My 2010 Fit has 208,000 miles. Can it make it to 300,000? I changed the clutch at 170,000 too. I'd also need to drive it from Wichita Falls, Texas to Montague, New Jersey. Yeah, why not? I've seen first gen Fits with 300 large on it. So why not? Just keep doing the required maintenance. There's no reason it can't take over to 300,000. You know, there's Subarus that have 300,000 miles on it, but they had a lot of work done. Often you see it says 3,000 on the body, 90 on the motor, you know. Thing about those first gen Fits is they rusted. Mine did. Will you be hiking the AT? Some question about the AT again. Will you be hiking the AT and vlogging with uploads like IBTat? Yes, I would. Currently, I've been watching IBTat's videos, and something happened with his camera. And his autofocus is going in and out. I saw that stuff before when I was when I worked in a camera store. That happens when either a sensor goes or the camera took a hit. It doesn't have to be a big hit. See, that happens. The camera he's using is not an SLR. It's one of these small point and shoots with a longer zoom lens on it. And the problem with those is there's a lot of little gears in there. And sometimes those gears are plastic. and you rattle those things. Even if you don't drop them, you rattle them like one of those gears on like, what's it called when a gear is on like a railroad track thing of other gears and it moves across like this? You know, it can skip a tooth. And then your autofocus is fucked. So something like that happened to him. And it's just getting wrong data in there. Of course, there's no point in talking to him about him because, you know, he's about a week ahead in real time where he is on his YouTube channel. Because, you know, you're out in the woods, you have an iPad, you can only upload stuff when you get into town. Aaron Moose says, thanks for $10, Aaron. We don't get June bugs here. Where's here? We do get Palo Verde beetles around June. I took a box full of them to church and released them during a sermon as a kid. Look up those scary beasts. I don't know if I want to. Yeah, fun playing with bugs as kids. I used to like caterpillars a lot. Used to mess with them. I never squished them. I'd like to watch them crawl on me, but now as an older man, I just let them go. Fart shack, baby, fart shack. Exactly. Julio Iglesias. Oh, thanks. Thanks for throwing more money my way. Oh, a few more came in. I'll cater to the other Canadians requesting it. RCR Canada. Yeah. RCR Canada. Falcon needs to be fixed so it can get up there. We need like Canadian fixers and RCR Canada. You're certainly helping though, but thank you for the $5, keeping it easy for us to get out there. And again, I just add this money to RCR's coffers. So when we do go north of the border, we'll be well funded to do that. Tyler Ritchie, thanks for the $5, Tyler. Hey, Mr. R. 2017 Mustang GT owner here. Nice. If you're ever near Richmond, Virginia, let's grab a beer. Yeah, sure. Nick's down in Richmond right now, or he was down there. The thing about Richmond is, when's a good time to drive around Richmond? And the answer is never. It's like, I look at those traffic reports from Richmond, and it's like madness. From York, Pennsylvania to Richmond, Virginia, that's all DC douchebags. All around there. I don't blame David Patterson for leaving RVA. Wait, is RVA rural Virginia or is RVA Richmond, Virginia? I forget. Jack Isbell says, if I were to email you my info to review my car sometime, how long do you think it would take you to get back to me and figure a date out? There's not an answer to that, Jack. If I get a car offer and it's formatted correctly, year, make, model, city, state in the title, and then body format, and then as long as that's year, make, model, city, states in the title, I don't read it. I drag it right to my submissions folder, and then when I'm ready, when we know we're going to go to that place, then I look it up. So the answer is in there is no when I'll get back to you. Jack Noble says RVA is Richmond. Okay, thanks for clarifying that. DC douchebags copy regular industries. I've also heard the term Baltimoreans for Baltimoreans who start moving up toward York, Pennsylvania, because it's just on Interstate 83 there. State of Mind says it's a DC resident. That's all Nova and Maryland, not us. Oh yeah? Okay. That's all Northern Virginia and Maryland, not us. Massholes, yeah. You notice how long that $100 thing stays up there? Wow. Thanks again for that C-note, man. It's your boy Jimbo. Should I put a 302 in my 1981 Fiat 124 or just keep it a stock 2.0 four-banger? Your car, your canvas, man. Do what you like. Any plans on another cross-country road trip? Pacific Fister 2.0? Nah. I could drive out to Iowa. Ames, Iowa. I wonder if that would be the easiest thing, to have like an RCR review while we're out there, to just drive out there. That's legitimately, apart from RCR Canada, that would probably be the most logical road trip. Robert says, do I have any favorite driving songs? Yeah, if I get my phone out here, I get my little app where I have phone saves on it, and I can read you off the list of songs that I play in the Falcon. The Falcon has its own playlist.
Old man sit down noises.
Michael Sterner says, wow, this is still going on. I went to REI and bought butt butter in the middle. Yeah, I figured I was getting close to 2 hours, so this will be the first podcast that goes on for 2 hours. I'm going to read you the songs that play in the Falcon. How much Wingadinga is in the Falcon's playlist? Okay, here we go. Number 1. These are all songs that are played exclusively in the Falcon, in the Vagabond Falcon. And these are in alphabetical order. Well, no. These are almost in alphabetical order, but one of these titles started with an underscore, so that's why it's first. Here we go. Lonely is the Night by Billy Squier. Beck, E-Pro. Let Me Take You Home Tonight by Boston. Rock and Roll Band by Boston. Jordan by Buckethead. Can't You Hear Me Knockin' by the Rolling Stones. Philadelphia Freedom by Elton John. This song is from, gosh, what is this? I have to turn the volume down. It's from the Fear and Loathing soundtrack. It is combination of the two by Big Brother and the Holding Company. And it's part of the Fear and Loathing soundtrack. The entire album in one MP3 file of Grand Funk Railroad's We're an American Band. Jump Into the Fire by Harry Nilsson. Harry Nilsson. It's from Goodfellas. I Feel Sanctified by the Commodores. Feeling That Way by Journey. Stone in Love by Journey. Montego Bay by Bobby Bloom. Mississippi Queen by Mountain. Hair of the Dog by Nazareth. Sister Christian by Night Ranger. She Begins, And She Begins. Is it And She Begins? I'm sorry, When She Begins by Social Distortion. We've Got to Get Out of This Place by The Animals. Ain't No Man by the Averitt Brothers. Saturday Night by the Misfits. Last Night by the Strokes. Elephants by Them Crooked Vultures. And last, Parking Lot by Vic Ruggiero, frontman for the Slackers. And they say, you have the wrong Buckethead song. Try the Patrolman. No Fabulous Thunderbirds. One guy says, Oklahoma is an excuse for a state. Aaron Rod says we need more Hunter S. Thompson and Bill Burr references. Oh. Well, I gotta act this one out. Also, I smell something burning. But I'm not cooking anything. Probably not me. Top 5 Mr. Regular Foods. In no particular order. Double-decker tacos. Pan-fried chicken, breaded. Wings from the Brick House. Anything cooked by Bryce Johnson. Which really means lamb kebabs. And foods I really look forward to. This is all stuff I rarely cook myself, with the exception of that breaded chicken. Eggs over medium, done frickin' well. Which also could mean eggs Benedict. Will Furlan says, when will we get an E46 M3 review? I did an E36, right? E46. I'm going to have to get a right one, correct? I'm going to have to get a stock one, a non-raced one. You know, that would be a good one to try to find in RCR Austin / RCR San Marcos when we come back to the H2R or Harris Hill Raceway. But then you'd probably get some tracked out one, and I'd really like one in stock form, but you really have to thrash an E46 to make it sound right. 9 minutes to go, and then I will have podcasted for 2 hours. After this, I need to go to the gym. What do I think of Ozzy Osbourne's version of Mississippi Queen? You happen to like it? That's good. I think I heard it once, and I'm like, well, all right, that's something. I thought you did an E46 M3. Did I? Or did I do an E36? Oh, there we got 2 super questions. Andrew Horsley says, I know this is unlikely, but an RCR Miami miniseries reviewing only exotic cars could be fun. There are so many that are semi-regular. Love your work. I've been to Miami once in my life when I was really little, and I don't remember much, and probably my parents shielded me from a lot of Miami. What's the deal? It says Miami is where you go to be somebody else. I think I'd enjoy Miami. As long as I didn't have to drive, right? Only exotic cars, but again, how would I film it in a city? That's the real question. David, no one cares about your... Oh, I'm sorry. Davin, no one cares about your Honda.
Davin, no one cares about your Honda. Davin, no one cares about your Honda.
Davin, no one cares about your Honda. RF Merrill says, I have a 6th generation Civic EX Coupe. I think you should review one. Did I? But a manual one. Mine's automatic. The handling is crazy good for an economy car. And it has a decent amount of oomph without being boy racery. 6th gen. How many generations are there? Does the 6th gen follow... Does the 6th gen follow the Honda Accords? Because I know the Honda Accord... I know them a little bit better than I know my Civic generations. Which generation is from Fast and the Furious? Well, that was the same one that was from the EH. That the EH2 was from. Yeah, eventually we'd have to do all generations of the Civic. Like we have to do all generations of the Corvette. The only Corvette generations that are left are C1 and C2. And they're all owned by Wingadinga men. Wingadinga men like Bob Hope comedy. Are you going to do voicemail recordings again? I do them. I keep doing them as that Patreon review kicks over. Like someone drops out and then someone else comes back in and I do one. So they still come up when those slots open, but if you're talking about me opening up more slots for that, I'm satisfied with what Patreon is doing, and thank you for everybody who do donate to Patreon. That's like our travel budget for like 2 months that we use for that, and the rest of it, of course, we save for when times get lean, like they did last month, when. During the tail end of the RCR NZ reviews. Oh, Will. Thanks again for $5, Will. Thanks. You did a review of the E36 M3, yes, but you also did the 330 Ci, which is part of the E46 family. Thank you. The E46 M3 would have been the coupe 6-speed. Okay. Yeah, because when we did the 330 Ci, gosh, that felt like a million years ago. And that was very much a run-of-the-mill one, right? It was just a regular thing. It's a coupe, but it's not an M, so kind of who cares, or I don't have the money for it. Here's a couple shekels from me. Keep up the great work. Thanks, who are you? Julio Iglesias just sends me $20. I hope you're not drunk, man. Or if you are, thanks. Thank you. This has been good. 4 minutes left. 4 minutes left, and then I gotta get off my ass and go to the gym. It's Memorial Day, so I can't get a drink. I don't have any beer in the house. Nicholas Kelly, thanks for the $5, Nicholas. Could you do a Jeep Commander at some point? Yeah, that would be. I would just rip that thing apart, man. All these Jeeps today, I don't get it, man. These freaking Barbie cars. Again, everything peaked in the 90s for me for Jeep with the TJ. I love that. I love that car. I know it's not great at carring, but it's great at Jeeping. Bell says, currently looking for a sports car. I want a Miata, but I already know that it wouldn't do well in the cold winter in Syracuse. Nope. I want something fun I could possibly drift in the summer. What about an S13? If you want to do the work, man, it's no problem. Syracuse, New York, man. You might even look at a used FRS. If you like the S13, honestly, you'd like an FRS as well. It's not going to do great in the snow because those things are low, and while 90s cars are a bit higher, you know what, man? Oh wait, you can't drift it. Never mind. That's all front wheel stuff. I'd say Prelude. But again, 90s Hondas, they may have rust issues. Tom Jefferson. Thanks for $4.99, man. Thank you. No question. Sad Boys. Hey, I remember you with the Max Payne logo. The first one. The only good one. Thanks again for the great stream. Hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking my silly show. Let's go right to the bottom here of these comments. Sorry. I stopped it so I could answer that S13 question. You can't work on new cars like you used to, which is the whole Jeep thing. Yeah, you're right. It is. I mean, on ETA until you are Mr. Swole. ETA 1 minute. We got 1 minute to go. ETA 1 minute until gym time. Review a Slim Jim. Slim Jim? You mean like the meat? That chair looks really comfortable. It is. It's great for bad posture and standing like this. Did I miss any super chats here? No, Julian Iglesias. I think I'm good. RCR Oklahoma. Not sure. Will you be my dad for $600? Oh man, no. Sorry. Be my dad for $600. I don't know. I don't think I'd be a good father figure. I mean, I have the figure of a father, maybe, but I don't know if I could be a role model 24/7. You know, I don't think I could clear my browser history like that, especially when I need spanky time at 11 a.m. Oh, super chat right at the last second. Thank you. I want an early 2000s Land Cruiser. You want a cat o' nine tails too? But they're steep in price. Who knows why? I was looking at the Lexus LX 470. Is that the yeah, it's a jacked up one. But they're ugly as sin. No argument here. Any recommendations for an inexpensive 4x4 SUV that can tow a car? Ford Excursion, that's way too big. Did any SUVs use an LS? GMC Yukon? That's kind of big though, isn't it? And it's not as flashy as a Land Cruiser, right? Oh, you said early 2000s Land Cruiser, not Land Rover. Excuse me. I'm wrong. Sorry. Oh, yeah. Guy in the channel says Chevy Tahoe. You're correct. Trailblazer SS had an LS. Awesome. Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, recommend those. Suburban was an LM3. Also, almost an LS. I'll have to find out what an LM3 was. You missed some super chat messages. Did I? Oh no. Did I? What would be your bottom 10 for cars? AKA worst cars. Oh shit. Come to Tijuana and Baja, California. Just need a valid ID. Eat street food. Check out the beach and drive every American's first car. Riced out 10 years after their title was salvaged. Oh man. I'm scared of going to Mexico. That's No, wait, that's the truth, isn't it? I don't know what's going to happen. I know probably nothing. But come to Tijuana and Baja. I mean, maybe down Baja. I'd love to see the race. That'd be a neat thing to go to. Eat street food. I would need to go with someone who... Like, my thing is when I go to foreign countries, with the exception of Canada... Much love to Canada. I go, I am an American, I'm sorry, please, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everything, please. I just want to do my work and leave, please, I'm sorry. It's a wonderful place, please, I'm sorry. I kind of felt that a little bit in New Zealand, but everybody's there so nice, and I didn't feel that way. Early 2000s Land Cruiser, looking at the Lexus LS 450. Yeah, maybe the Chevy... was it Chevy Avalanche LS SS, because it's kind of ugly. People kind of don't want it. Alrighty, guys, that's gonna be 2 hours and 3 minutes. Thanks for doing this record solo podcast. I'm going to go to the gym. Thank you so much for everybody who watches RCR. I hope if I do a... Mark Carlisle says, greatest game convention you've ever been to? I've only been to one and it was too many games, so that's my answer. I got to play little one. That warehouse party I went to in Perth Amboy, that was probably the ultimate video game event ever. Because it was all old school arcade games. And the real Neil Roberts, told me that there's a pinball arcade somewhere near, I think, Kennett Square or something like that. He sent me a picture on Facebook. I saw a picture on Facebook and that was it. I hope that if I do when I attempt an Appalachian through hike, regular car reviews, the channel will survive the 6 months that I'm absent. I mean, Nick would have to carry the channel. It'd be just 6 months of Roman. 6 months of Nick. The summer of Nick. Right? Because I would be gone from... I'd be gone from like March until August or September. March, April, May, June, July, August, September. 6 months. 7 months. Yeah. Bottom 10, go. I forgot about bottom 10 worst cars. High fidelity here. Bottom 10 worst cars. Hyundai Santa Fe. Pontiac Grand Am. Dodge Stratus. First gen Dodge Caravan non-turbo. Pontiac Grand Prix. This is one that's gonna people hate. Pontiac Solstice. I don't like that thing. Same deal for Saturn Sky, but that's the same car. Julian Iglesias says you didn't want to go to the gym anyway. I'm such a procrastinator when I go to this, but I gotta get these 10 awful cars out of the way. Oh yeah, duh. Volkswagen Jetta. That's my comic book enemy. Toyota Avalon. Oldsmobile Intrigue. Chevy S10. Hate that truck. Oh, garbage. Chevy S10. Like the newer one. The older ones are great. You're fine with the Roman Summer? Yeah. The Mitsubishi Mirage. Yeah, that one. Modern one. I'd like to drive one, though. I think it was Steph Schrader who said we need a Mirage spec racing series. That'll be it. Bivouac says, hello, AMC Pacer. Thank you for not saying Ford Ranger. Surprised if Pontiac Sunberg didn't make it. I mean, it was off the top of my head. Southern Nihilism. Do you have plans for Gulf Coast season? Don't know. Mr. Regular confirmed non-S10 number. I just got here and don't leave yet. Sorry, Hardy Hat. Why you gotta go S10 like that? Because I go S10 like that. Go to the gym already. How dare you disparage the intrigue. Hi from New Zealand. RCR was great. Thank you, Kiwi Car Life. I miss New Zealand. I'm going to go back for just fun. What a great country to do nothing in. And I mean that with love. Have a nice day. Honda Passport. Ever heard of the Geostorm GSI? Yes, I have. Toyota Prius, Hyundai Tiburon. How many times? For runner surf, and there's a purple heart. Gonna stop streaming. 2 hours, 8 minutes, 18 seconds. Larry Lelson, S10. But the intrigue is intriguing. Have a great stream. Going to the gym. Gotta go to the gym. The stream is ending just to see the something. Pizza, stream is ending. This stream is ending. Getting up on the mic. This stream is ending. Sorry. This stream is ending. Notice you, senpai. Time to get swell. See ya, howdy. Brown, my first car was a 1982. Out of all of cars people have reviewed, best personality, milady. Hated the Dodge Stratus. Windshield was too low. Couldn't see traffic light without crouching by. Sus. By. Hardly doing anything now. Browntown, say my name. Nope. That's a trick. Another delay.